So 53% of people are single in Los Angeles. So there are actually a lot of speed dating events now in LA. But you know what? They get sold out by women, not by men. Men are not paying money to go on these speed dating events. Can I ask why?
I got 10 raffle tickets, which means I matched 10 times. Unfortunately, it wasn't 10 men.
I went to a speeding event last night with my friend just for fun, and honestly, it was the most horribly painful experience ever.
Once again, modern women want to know the reason we are not attending a single event. The tickets were sold out, all by women, and this is something they are not happy about. They want to know what caused our lack of interest.
Hello, so I want to talk about dating. So 53% of people are single in Los Angeles, which is the city that I lived in forever now. My question to the men is, do you, as a male, no longer have the desire to be in a serious relationship and be married?
We are still interested. But the dating scene is slowly becoming a playground where people are just trying to have fun, and this is not what the majority of us are interested in.
So there's hundreds of women who want to be married, who want to have a family, yet they're not able to find their spouse in order for them to start that family. So there are actually a lot of speed dating events now in LA. I would say in the last year, maybe they started to become popular because dating sites don't work for everyone. They work for some. They've never worked for me. But it's very interesting because this speed dating events where you have to pay no minimum than $25, they're between $25 to $70. I know, it's crazy. But you know what? They get sold out by women, not by men. Men are not paying money to go on these speed dating events. Can I ask why? Would love to know. Thanks.
If you are not a Chad, you may be rejected 10 or even 30 times on that event, and perhaps paid an entry fee for that outcome. Who would do that? Second, it is easy for women to find partners. Good men are mostly at home or at work. I went to a singles event 30 years ago. All the women ignored me, and none of them I would ever consider dating. Waste of my time. The organizer paid my way and I got a free 5-course meal out of the deal. I was home by sundown. Pathetic, really. Going to a single event will not make much difference for dating because the issue we are currently facing isn't due to the place of meeting people, but the mentality of our generation. In other words, the same modern women who are looking for Chads on date apps and other places are looking for the same thing in a single event. So what difference will it make? They are going with the same expectations for those events. How do they expect this to work? As we are well aware of their mindset, it becomes a bit pointless to waste our time and resources knowing that we are paying to go to a place that modern women will use as another day of shopping for Chad. Until they change their mindset and expectations, I am afraid to say it, but there won't be any change anytime soon, as we are not willing to spend our money for nothing. We are smart enough not to pay just to be rejected. Who would pay their hard-earned money just to go to a place where modern women will be scanning for 6-foot Chad only?
But you know what? They get sold out by women, not by men. Men are not paying money to go on these speed dating events. Can I ask why? Would love to know. Thanks.
Of course they would buy it all. Why wouldn't they? But I am glad guys are using their time and resources for other things.
Next, we have a woman who wasn't pleased with the lack of men at the event she attended. Let's have a look at her video.
Okay, so you get there and there's about 300 people there and it's crazy. Girls get their padlocks, guys get their keys, and you go around matching. Every time you get a match, you get a raffle ticket. And as you can see, I got 10 raffle tickets, which means I matched 10 times. Unfortunately, it wasn't 10 men because 2 guys I matched 3 times, but never mind, life goes on. I thought I'd win, but in the end, a guy I did match with, he actually won 2 bottles, and guess who he gave one to? Yes, that's right, me! He gave me one, and I'm pretending here that it's because I won the raffles, but it wasn't.
It's so funny to watch women so happy to be going to a singles party, and then after the party is over, they come back to an empty apartment alone. These women probably get cold approached by guys in real life, but reject them all. Good luck. If they want men to go to these singles events, then don't charge men an entry fee. Then it might almost be worth it for us to get rejected. Why don't you offer a $100 bill at the door to any guy that shows up? She sounded disappointed when she said this.
I got 10 raffle tickets, which means I matched 10 times. Unfortunately, it wasn't 10 men.
I do understand her reaction, as she didn't go there to meet other women, nor to make best friends, but currently, it's the reality of many single events. This is why even women are losing interest in being part of it, as they are also getting tired of attending just to meet with other single women who are looking for the same thing. But she should be happy because at least some guys showed interest in the event she went to, as other event organizers had to cancel theirs because guys literally didn't show any interest to the point they had to stop the advertisement and cancel it. At some point, they will end up running out of business because usually men are the main source of their income, and based on the way things are going, they will not have enough funds to continue.
The coming video is from another woman describing a normal single event she went to, but for some reason, she still found something to complain about. She said it was an absolutely horrible experience and she will never go again. Most of us know what happened. Chad didn't go and it explains her reaction. Let's listen to what she has to say.
I went to a speeding event last night with my friend just for fun, and honestly, it was the most horribly painful experience ever. The most attractive guy there, in my opinion, was wearing slides and looked like he just came back from the beach where he spent the day with his boys. Like, that's how he was dressed. And then when I first walked in, I saw a guy wearing a top hat. And I'm not gonna lie, I was dreading having a conversation with him. But that turned out to be my most interesting conversation. Like, that was the conversation I enjoyed the most. And I left halfway through, so I didn't even talk to, like, all of them. But that was absolutely horrible, and I will never be going again.
Why did she consider it to be a horrible experience? Based on what she said, it seems to be a normal encounter. I guess 6-foot Chad wasn't present, and this is why she had that reaction. Even women dating coaches think singles events are horrible. Women go into these events with the idea of finding a nice man to get to know him, start a relationship with someone they can relate to and trust. Then they go to the event, end up interrogating men as if they were a bank loan processor, asking them where they work, how much they make, are they good with kids, can they cook, clean, and provide. Just to reject all men and still ask where are the good men at. Single events will be predominantly single picky women. The men who go to these events are not what the women are looking for. Alpha, masculine men don't go to these events, and these are the type of men these women want. This video just shows how hard this game is getting, because based on what she said, there is no reason for her reaction. Why did she call it a horrible experience? What is she complaining about? She said the most interesting guy was dressed as if he came from the beach. She also said she didn't want to talk to someone, but they end up talking and it was beyond her expectations. It seems to be a normal occurrence. Why does she consider it to be the most horrible and painful experience ever? What exactly did she expect to happen? Who did she expect to see there? We all know the answer. She didn't see 6-foot Chad with designer clothes and driving a Ferrari, and this is why it was so horrible. Then they asked men why they are not going to a single event. It all comes down to their expectation, and until they are more realistic, men will not be interested in single events.
Next, we have a woman advising other women on places to go to find single men. Let's have a look at what she has to say about that.
Where to go in a city to find the most eligible men? I think high-end restaurants. I think that you can even go to, let's say you don't live in like a high-end area. Well, make a day where you get yourself fixed up and you go to the grocery store in the high-end areas, and you walk your dog in the, you need to go where affluent
Oh my God, I love
men
that.
live.
Yes.
And make it maybe your Saturday thing, maybe every Saturday.
Women are taking this matter into their own hands, and now it's getting to the stage where it's close to being like a part-time job. She advises women to do their men's hunting every Saturday. They are serious about it.
You go and you hit the park with your dog in an affluent area, or you go to lunch at a particular place where it's near a building where all the like network, the like executives.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just go to those areas. So that's one way. And then another way I've said is like, you'd have to do your research, but there's a lot of like private groups you can get into. There's, private events. There's a lot of like where people speak for Bitcoin, tech, and then look at who's speaking on the panel. Like what I did back in the day when I started my business, right? I Googled eligible bachelors, and then I Google, you do some research, and like if there's like an eligible bachelor or two and they're speaking on a panel in your town, then go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go.
Imagine you meet the dude and you get talking, and he finds out you live in Compton and not Beverly Hills. Definitely not restaurants. I was never approached at a restaurant. People are busy chatting with their dates or friends. I've lived in the high-end areas and never found anyone. What do you think about airport lounges? They say don't go during the weekend, go during happy hour. It was interesting when she mentioned the high-end area. This is all that matters nowadays. Most of them are looking for chads only, and this is why they are struggling this much. It seems like they are not aware there aren't many of those guys available for all of them, and going to a place where they can be found won't make much difference unless they are willing to make the first move.
This is the end of today's video. If you like it, I believe you will also like the video on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that.